What's up, wonderful child of God? Welcome on today's episode. Good Vibes Creature. We shall be reacting to videos from across the whole world, from different athletes like yourself. And all of this, my friend, we shall be doing it with the intentions of making sure the whole world lives in peace and harmony. Everyone is forgiving to their neighbor, is honest, my friend, and love, my friend, is all over the world. Everyone loves their neighbor the way they love themselves. And this good vibe soul, we intend by doing with the guidance of our Creator, the supreme maker of heaven and earth, whom wonderful creature of God, we shall acknowledge with a word of thanks before we start the show of today. But first, let me share with you something to feed on. Not this grease that I'm holding here, my friend. Neither is this watermelon. I'm about to share with you something that will feed your soul. And it comes directly from the book of life. This is what it tells us in John 11:4. Jesus was speaking. When he heard this, Jesus said, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." Interesting. Good vibe soul. That is the story of someone that was allegedly dead, whom Jesus raised from the dead for his glory and power to be showcased on the whole world. Let's give thanks to that wonderful creator and miracle doing God. Dear Lord Father, thank you for this chance, dear Lord, to be together with this wonderful, precious child of yours, to this viewer, Father, to spread love and peace to the whole world. Father, as we dive into reacting to these videos together with your child, may you give us understanding of these videos, Father. May you help us to see other athletes, dear Lord, with love, Father, and kindness. And every bit, Father, that we shall be going through them, be with us and guide us till the end. May your spirit not depart from us, Father, and forgive us all our sins, dear Lord. Be with us, Father, we do pray. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's dive in, good web soul.
How many of you have ever seen a violet ray? You know what it is? It's a Tesla coil, basically, that has associated with it a glass electrode that, at least in its early days, was supposed to have the rare gas argon in it. And it puts out a violet-colored, high-intensity electrical current, which Edgar Casey used to say was good for a number of problems, including baldness. And if you touch a violet ray device, or a person who is touching a violet ray device, and you can move this down 2 or 3 people and hold in your other hand a fluorescent light bulb, it lights up. And that's kind of impressive looking, to see somebody holding a fluorescent light up here, shining light out, and not have any electricity connected to it directly. And I try to get people to understand this interconnection of electricity and electromagnetism and our connections one with another, and to demonstrate the effect of touching the human body with an electromagnetic generator and how it changes the output from electronic equipment. And so we put on these little things to try to just get people to be aware of electromagnetism. There is some excellent evidence in Europe that learning is accelerated in the presence of music. It chose to use music as a conditioning tool to help people relax and get into a state in which they're programming healing. I want you to understand that we didn't give them a tape player and send them home. We had 3 marvelous musical vibrating beds, one of which today is now selling for $43,000. I thought it was bad when it was $26,000. The Baytar, and it is marvelous. It's got this sort of bed that hangs down in space by chains from a geodesic dome with 20 speakers in the room. It looks like a little radio transmitting station, and your whole body vibrates with the music, to say the least. The sound is wonderful, the vibration is excellent, and it's enough to put almost anybody in a trance. Person got 10 sessions of music on a vibrating bed, plus another 20 hours of the same kind of music in a room that we created specially several years ago for its sound effects. We put crushed quartz crystal under the carpet, and where in all the places there's plaster, there's crushed quartz crystal. The whole building has been energized with quartz crystal. And if you're standing in the middle of this room with these marvelous speakers going, you actually can feel the music coming up through your feet. They were given either glass or quartz, and they were told, of course, that it would be a double-blind study. Nobody would know who was getting what. It would be arbitrarily assigned. 202 people altogether. And in 3 of the groups, just to satisfy my curiosity, I just took out 2 handsful of one of glass and one of quartz and mixed them up. Nobody knew which was which. And I asked people to choose their own. It was quite interesting to me. Half the people chose glass. They didn't know the difference. And we did this in a little ceremony when they got their crystal, of passing the crystal through a candle flame and mentally releasing any stored electromagnetic energy in the crystal, programming what they wanted into the crystal. And we spent a lot of time with each individual getting them to focus on what they wanted. It had to be short, not more than 6 words. It had to have a high emotional meaning to them and an image that they could build with it. And then they would create the image and the words in their minds and will it and blow out into the crystal 3 times in a row. And then the crystal was worn in a white satin, bridal satin pouch around the neck. They were to reprogram the crystal every morning for 2 weeks minimum. We chose 8 pieces of music. Obviously, we could have left the music open, but arbitrarily I decided that we would restrict the music to 4 classical pieces and 4 New Age pieces. The New Age pieces that we chose were Stephen Halpern's Spectrum Suite, which is specifically intuitively created as music to balance the chakras. And each person then had multiple experiences with their choice of music on the music bed, in the music room, and when they finished, they had agreed to program their crystal and to use the tapes a minimum of 20 minutes twice a day, that's all, for a minimum of 3 months. That was the agreement when we started the research project. I don't think I tried. I was neutral. I really did not believe. I had no faith that crystals would be any better than glass. I knew that music conditioning and electrical stimulation transcranial, which they got every morning while they were at the clinic, just 10 days of that. I knew those things had to be good for people, but I didn't know whether crystals were any better than glass. And so I think I was as neutral as a person can be. The results, I'm going to refer to my notes so I don't make any mistakes about it. Here are the statistics. The depressed people got more quartz than their fair share. 88 out of 141 depressed people got quartz and only 54 got glass. Of those who got quartz, 70% were still free of their depression 3 months later. That's phenomenal odds. Those who got glass were hardly a placebo, only 31%. Less than half as many. And yet, when we did the statistical analysis, even that was highly statistically significant. In other words, if you look at the changes in their scores, the conditioning program and the electrical stimulation all in itself helped some people with depression. But adding the quartz crystal was phenomenally better. I still have trouble believing it, but it's what we got. The back pain people, and these are all people with very significant back pain problems, 55% of those who got quartz were markedly improved in their pain. Only 23% of those who got glass were markedly improved. That's negative placebo response. Even that was statistically significant at about the 95th percentile. You know how statistics are. You can do anything with them. But the real difference was the quartz crystal compared to everything else. The chances of this happening by chance are less than 1 in 10,000. That's not bad.
Alexa, what happens to Florida in 2025?
On September 4th, 2025 at 3:08 p.m., Florida will be hit by a Category 5 hurricane with winds as high as 205 miles per hour. Miami will be completely destroyed.
What's going on here? I don't know what that blue liquid is. Okay, you put some water in a glass. Some good vibes brother here is testing this for us. Okay, which fruit is that? Is that an apple? Okay, if you put a slice or hey, I'm always fascinated when English people do experiments with apples. You see, apple is a delicacy from this side of the world, my friends. Hey, look, you add some few super glue. Okay, it looks like an onion. Yeah, it looks like an onion. Then you add some. Is that cooking oil or what's up? That is cooking oil. Allegedly, there is some fire that will be produced here. Let's see. Oh man, it's all fake stuff. Fake stuff. There is fire. Oh yeah. Aye. It's crazy stuff. What is these things? Aye. Ooh, what is this? English people, this one is eating smoke, fire. Aye. This one I have to see with the bare eyes. What's going on? What is these things they are eating? Are they hot things? Huh? I thought I had seen it all with English people eating weird fish. Now there's weird things in the streets. Some have.
Finding this much money is bad news.
In most cases, finding a dumpster full of trash would be great news. However, in this case, it's actually bad news. So this video was sent to me through Instagram DM. It shows a bunch of these banknotes, this guy grabbing a handful of them and tossing them up in the air, and the person recording just crumpling them up while there are hundreds of these bills on the ground. Now, the reason that this is not an exciting find is because the currency found in this dumpster is the Venezuelan bolivar. And over the past few decades, inflation has been very bad in Venezuela, and now they're going through hyperinflation, which is even worse. And since most of my audience lives in the United States, that's the equivalent of $1 equaling 55 Venezuelan bolivars. As a result, there are many pictures online of these banknotes lining the streets just littered like trash, and people stand to make more money by using these banknotes to create art than actually using the currency for what it's meant for. So yeah, basically this entire dumpster has no value, and it wouldn't even be worth carrying all these bills around because it would be such a negligible difference.
The government can control the weather. Watch this. This patent claims to control weather patterns by releasing specific substances into the atmosphere. This is a real patent. This ties directly into the age-old chemtrail conspiracy, but this isn't a theory anymore. It's written in black and white. The patent explicitly mentions controlling hurricanes, creating rain, and even dissipating clouds. Yep. Here's where things get crazy. Companies like the military contractor Raytheon have been tied to similar patents. Is this just innocent weather science, or are we messing with forces we don't fully understand? Let me know what y'all think. If the government or private entities control the weather, what's stopping them from creating natural disasters on demand? You can check out the full-length video on my YouTube channel. It's Weird Time. Thanks for watching. Stay weird.
So just a couple days ago, Trump spoke to the World Economic Forum, and while he was talking, I knew that something just did not seem right. Check out the video, see if you can spot it.
This has been a truly historic week in the United States. 3 days ago, I took the oath of office, and we began the golden age of America.
Did you catch it? If you didn't, it's this right here. Look at it carefully. This is an image of the original seal. What direction is the head of the bald eagle facing? What direction is this eagle facing? This is an olive branch. These are arrows. This signifies war. This signifies peace. Even the image of the bird on the podium is also facing the opposite direction from this bird, facing toward arrows, not toward peace. Look, all I'm trying to tell you is that Jesus, he is the truth.
Interesting. How to clean a fan. This is for the people that have one of these luxurious gadgets. Look at this. Allegedly, if your fan has particles stuck to it, there is some way you can clean it. Let's see this good vibes, guys. Will show us how. You use some dishwashing liquid. This one is hard to find from this side of the world. We use normal soap for everything, bathing, cleaning, washing utensils. You add some warm water to the dishwashing liquid, then add vinegar. In all these requirements, only one warm water we can access. Anyway, let's keep on watching. You see? You shake the mixture well completely, put your fan there, and you know what? Start the fan. You spray the mixture on your fan there, and guess what, my friends? After you start the fan in very high speeds, all of the dust that was there will allegedly be moved. This is interesting. Oh, look, the fan looks as good as new.
Why are crows falling in the ocean? Y'all are not even going to believe me. So all these crows have been falling in the ocean in the Gulf of America, I believe it was. And they are saying that these crows are falling in the ocean because they got too cold. That the Arctic wind came and pushed them and they got confused and they fell in the water. So I don't know where you live, but where I live, it's always below freezing in the winter. And I have never once in my life seen a crow fall down, much less into the ocean, because it got too cold apparently. I have seen crows looking for food when it's like 20 degrees outside again, and this is in the Gulf, I think it was. These people putting them on the boat hoping they could come back to life, so they could warm up. Now, completely unrelated. Do you remember when I showed you this pond that had the atomic structure of water changed, maybe by vibrations? Water never freezes this way. And if you say it does, you would have taken a picture of it. Completely unrelated. Completely unrelated. Completely unrelated. Unrelated. But yeah, pretty wild stuff. I wonder how cold those crows got. Really do. Really do. Oh, and by the way, a few days before that, all these fish just rolled up on the shore. Literally, just a few days before. But this is unrelated.
Carly, what are you doing outside?
There's something scratching on my window.
Scratching on your window?
Yeah.
Let's go out here and look. I got a flashlight. Come on. Come on. Well, I don't see nothing. What is that? I see it right there. Let's go back inside, Carly. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
What could that thing be? A skinwalker, alien? I don't know. Man. Look at this good vibes cat having some good time. This is good vibes. Yo, this is the first experience that this cat had. Others is also munching on a watermelon. Is that normal? British people is like you also have vegetarian cats. This is interesting. Yo, this is good vibes. Look at this one. He's extremely happy to test out the new stuff. Man, this is good vibes. Hey. I've never seen a cat have such an experience or such a reaction after eating something. You see, the cats from this side of the world, my friend, so like they refuse trying out something new. Oh, it is said that cats can be used to test the poisonous food or substances. There is even a king from this side of the world who had a cat as a pet. to help him from not eating bad things or poisoned food. Anyway, let's look at this. There's some experiment going on with the charcoal. This guy is adding some chemical in the water. Look how the charcoal traps the blue chemical and purifies the water. This is interesting. There's a water purification method, by the way, where some charcoal dust is also used as the end filter in the filtration process at the end. And it's just good vibes. The charcoal also traps magnets and other metal materials. Isn't that great? Did you know that? Look at this UFO, my friend. It pulled up on someone's house and stares in the window. Oh, and these guys claim they can see 4 beings inside the UFO. This is crazy stuff. What could those beings be? Those beings were really interested in this good vibes guy's home. Oh, probably that guy, that day they were doing something.
What if I told you the sun isn't a ball of fire in space, but a light projection hidden in plain sight? My footage proves it. Using my Samsung A16 with a 10x50 spotting scope, I captured something that shatters the illusion. Instead of a distant star, I saw a glowing orb with red and blue outlines, what mainstream science calls chromatic aberration. But here's the problem. These outlines don't behave like a natural effect. They form hair-like, flame-like structures around the edges of the sun. This isn't a camera glitch. These patterns are a direct result of polarization manipulation, the same optical trick described in projection system patents. And when I saw those flame-like outlines, I started digging. That's when I found a patent called Reflection Type Projector Device. This patent details how light can be split, filtered, and reconstructed to create an artificial sun. Dichroic prisms and polarizing elements remove distortions, ensuring that telescopes only capture a perfect sun. But my setup isn't using their filters. That means I'm seeing the raw, uncorrected light, exposing the flaws in the projection system. Look closely. When I increase edge detection and polarization contrast, structures begin to emerge. This is not the burning sun we've been told exists. These patterns match the projection layering used in controlled light systems. This explains why high-powered telescopes never capture these outlines. They're designed to see the cleaned-up version of the projection, not its real source. But my footage proves the truth. The sun we see is not a natural celestial object. It's a carefully engineered light system. They weaponized our perception. But now, I have the evidence. And that second sun that everyone sees except people with telescopes? That's what's being viewed when they get past the first layer of light manipulation. If this doesn't convince you, stick around, you'll be amazed what I discover. Share, like, and let's break the illusion together.
So this video is a good example of like the level of lift that MV-22s have because of the exhaust and like how strong the exhaust is pushing out of the bottom of the rotors as they're running. Because look at this box. That wind is pushing up, lifts the entire box clean up in the air. Don't worry, nobody gets hit. There's like, 6-7 Navy sailors that are sitting there like loading boxes, takes off. That's a pretty strong lift. Yeah, the MV-22 is capable of lifting a gross loaded weight of almost 20,000 pounds off of a flight deck and is also capable of carrying 24 passengers at a cruise speed of over 280 knots with a combat radius of more than 325 nautical miles.
Customization, where we can use, again, the same engine for each robot and create a new robotic character very quickly. But isn't that very cool right there? So there you go. How long?
Tell me you've seen this.
Did you know that right after prayer, fasting is one of the most powerful practices in the Bible? But I've noticed a lot of Christians are confused on how to fast. I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. There are 3 ways that you can fast in the Bible. Number 1, we have what's called an absolute fast. In other words, a dry fast. Both Esther and Paul fasted for 3 days without food or water. This type of fasting is associated with intense prayer. This is done right before a significant spiritual encounter or event. Number 2, the partial fast, or in other words, the Daniel fast. This is the most common way that Christians fast nowadays. we see that Daniel fasted for 3 weeks and he abstained from rich foods such as meat, dairy. He was on a vegetable and water diet. And number 3, we have a normal fast, abstaining from food but not water. And this is usually from sunrise to sunset. Personally, this is my favorite way to fast. We see in the book of Matthew, Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness without food, but not necessarily without water. This fast is less severe than an absolute fast, but it takes a lot of discipline still. The whole point of fasting is to weaken the flesh. Think about it. When you're on an empty stomach, all you're thinking about is food. Compared to when you're full. When you're full, you tend to think about other pleasures. We're not only fasting from food, we're fasting from our bad habits and weakening the flesh.
Okay, so what do we have here? Apparently, there's no woman that has all 5 of these things. Number 1, $40. Okay, well, I have $40, so we're off to a good start. Number 2. Okay, this is bullshit.
You know how they're always talking about hiding truth in plain sight? Let me introduce you to Metal Gear Solid 2. Released in 2001, over 20 years ago. Watch this clip.
Raiden, are you having fun playing with the new AI toys? Well, yeah, I am. You can make pictures of cute anime girls and... Enjoy it while it lasts, Raiden. What do you mean? Did you really think that civilians would be granted unrestricted access to such powerful military weapons forever? Military weapons? Are you implying that this technology was created by the government? Of course it was. This AI technology has been used by the intelligence agencies to warp the public's perception of reality for years. All in the name of national security, of course. But why would they suddenly make the tech public and let everyone start using it? Why would we indeed, Raiden? What? Who? What in the hell are you? Your question is irrelevant.
First and foremost, I just gotta say, I was sent this clip, so can anybody verify whether this is real? But it's gonna get crazier.
By creating a new problem, we can cultivate a desired reaction to it in order to manufacture consent for our preferred solutions. In short, it's justification for a war. A war? On who or what? A war on misinformation. By arming the public with these AI weapons, everyone becomes a potential enemy combatant. Then we will have justification for unprecedented security measures. It all comes down to confusion and identity, Raiden. Identity? Identity. This AI technology is Pandora's box. Pretty soon the internet will be mired in total illusion. Perfect AI speech, audio, and video synthesis will drown out reality. Then AI bots will flood social media.
The amount of this that we already see, like if you don't know the dead internet theory, you should look it up. Am I kidding? I know you're not going to look it up. The dead internet theory is essentially a theory that says that the vast majority of online content, online activity is actually AI or bot content. It's basically everything your grandma and grandpa are seeing on Facebook. But I need to know if that clip is real. Like I said, I didn't play the game, but that is wild. But I also wouldn't be surprised if someone used AI to create it. Which is so ironic because that is what the clip was predicting will be happening. It's what we're seeing right now. And here's the biggest reveal of all. I'm not even a human being. I am AI. Just kidding, I'm a human being. I love you guys.
I want you to watch me knock over this bottle and it's gonna break on the floor. Ready? Notice how no one is yelling. No one is calling me a name or telling me I'm an idiot. No one is panicking or telling me what I've ruined. And no one is belittling me for making a simple mistake. What was that like to watch? Did you feel nervous when I said that I was gonna knock it over? Did you brace yourself and did your body go into fight or flight? Did you feel panic in your chest and start to spiral around what would happen next? When people say the body keeps score or the body remembers, this is what they mean. This is why you still panic when you drop something, misplace something, or when you make a small mistake. So what you're gonna do now, when you make a small mistake, like dropping something or misplacing something, you're going to remind yourself that you're an adult. This is your own home. These are your own floors and your own property. And it can really be as easy as just picking things up. You're not gonna call yourself an idiot. You're not gonna belittle yourself. And you're not gonna punish yourself in the same ways that you were punished growing up. What you're gonna say is, this isn't a big deal at all. I just made a simple mistake and I knocked something over. People knock things over all the time. It's quiet and it's safe in here and I'm not gonna get the harsh punishment that I used to. I can just pick this up and go on about my day.